Hello there and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. This time we're covering the boys once again. Yes, the Natlan Saurians. I have kinda two different subjects I want to talk in this video. The first one being, I feel like, the most important one, and that is, where will we be able to use these? Will we only be able to use them in Natlan, or will we be able to take them outside? And the second topic is a bit more speculation about what the other three Saurians are going to do. Because if you take a look over here, we have 6 different symbols, where only 3 of them get lit up and shown in this video that Genshin posted. But yeah, let's honestly start with the first one, which is where will we be able to use these guys? Because there's been rumors about the mounts for a while now, and people have been wanting mounts for a couple of years at this point, because the game is, realistically speaking, pretty big, right? Like, there's a couple thousand meters between, there's like 5, 6, 7,000 meters between Fontaine and Inazuma, so it would be cool to have some mounts in order to go throughout the entire world. But unfortunately, I really think this is not going to happen, because the Saurians will most likely be a local ability. Think of like the Inazuman teleportation points that you require Electrograna, or the Sumeru grappling points and the stamina flowers, and in Fontaine we of course have swimming. So that's kind of like the thing. The Saurians will most likely be the new regional exploration gimmick. So they're not gonna be usable anywhere outside. So what does that mean? How will you even use them in that sense, if they're not going to be something that you can use anywhere? Well, I think there's 2 possibilities, both of which might require either getting the pyro element, you know, kind of like how I think swimming in Fontaine requires you to get to touch the statue as well. But either way, it's either after that or after a quest, and I think there's 2 possible ways in which you can use them. One, you either find them in the world and interact with them, and only then you can actually go ahead and do that. And I think you can kind of see something like that in this bit specifically, because there's multiple Saurians of the same type running around. Of course, you could kind of compare this to Pokemon's Poke Rides, where you summon a Pokemon to ride and do different things, pretty much like how the Saurians are. And that was my next point, is there might be a gadget that when used allows you to choose one of the 6 Saurians, and you just transform into them and then are able to use their abilities. If you need to find them in the world, 100% they will not be usable outside of Natlan, because, well, you know, it would take a very long time to take them from Natlan to Inazuma. And if there's a gadget, there's actually an example of this with Soroush, the Pari, where the gadget for Soroush can only be used within the Pari area, which is the latest Sumeru Desert, not the latest, the one before that. The one that we got in 3.6, I believe it was. The one with the Pari and the giant tree. So if it will be a gadget, it will most likely be like that, where you turn, as I said, into the Saurian, and then you can, as long as you're in Natlan, you can go anywhere with this chosen Saurian. I do wish in a way that we would get all of these guys in normal exploration, at least once you get to Natlan. So pre-Natlan, you don't have these guys, right? But post-Natlan, it would be awesome to get the mounts, because it would allow you to explore in different ways over the existing areas that you've explored previously. For example, this first dude here would be very good in the mountainous areas of Liyue, to explore around there, places you haven't done already. The water one, this one would be really good in Fontaine and Inazuma. In Inazuma because you no longer need boats, and in Fontaine because, well, there's a lot of water in it. And this guy would be generally good. The lizard guy, the jade plume looking guy, would be really good because of the grappling hook mechanic that it has. Now, I wonder if the grappling hooks from its tongue, I think that's his tongue, are infinite. Like, as long as you use it in time, you can have infinite climbing with him. Or if there's a stamina bar or something like that. But yeah, each of the different Saurians we've seen until this point would be very useful in different areas, in different nations that are in the game already. So if it does happen that we can use them anywhere, that would be really cool for exploring further in areas you've already done before, or just doing some explorations in places you haven't already. But if not, and if they're only Natlan exclusive, that, well, I'm gonna say I told you so, because they really feel like regional gimmicks, unfortunately, like swimming in Fontaine, like stamina flowers in Sumeru, which I'm still surprised stamina flowers haven't made a return or haven't been added to previous regions with a different art style. Either way, what about the second topic, where I wanted to talk a bit more about the Saurians themselves and speculating specifically on the other three Saurians. But let's take a look at the Saurians we already have here. So, the Earth Saurian, the Geo-Saurian, is going to be most likely a vertical climber. Yes, you can go within the ground itself, but it's really good when it comes to climbing vertical walls, as you can see. And yes, you do have a pretty big amount of speed on normal ground as well, but it's possible some of the other ones are going to be more for normal ground speed. Of course, possible if you can use these in combat, you would also be able to dodge enemy attacks, I guess. Huh. I do wonder how they will work in combat, actually. Then we have the Water Saurian, who is going to be pretty much a replacement for boats. I wouldn't be too surprised if there's not even any boat waypoints. And of course, just it has a little special mechanic to itself where it can ride these waves. I'm not even sure what to call them, right? Because there's these rings that just throw out some water in a weird shape. But these world mechanism, let's call them. So yeah, it's all about swimming. And the Dendrosaurian, I'm not sure what this is about. Like, it's able to throw a bomb, right? That might be a bomb. But that's about it. This one, you can see that it can do a grappling in the air. So you have to aim with it, and then it grapples at a specific distance towards the direction you put the grapple. I'm curious about how many times you can grapple, because at the very start, you can see that it grappled to an existing grappling point, like this one above, and then it did two extra grapples in the air, 1, 2, and then it grappled to the grapple point. So I wonder if it's going to be infinite, or if it's going to actually be 2 grapples or 3 grapples before you have none left. Another interesting question about this is, can you quickly change between Saurian and normal? Because if you can't, I think you might die from fall damage if you can't. But you could just swap to normal and then use the glider. And then we have him jumping, and of course the valleys and the mountains of Natlan, which again look gorgeous from here. Also, we have this little guy. Now, I'm not sure if that's a new model. I think it is, because there are birds. It's also big, so this is most likely a new model, and it's another Saurian. I'll go back here in a bit. But there are birds that look similar to this guy, at least color-wise, in Sumeru, so I'm not sure if this is that model or if it's actually something new, but I believe it's something new. But speaking of this guy with wings and flight, are we actually going to get a Saurian that can properly fly? The thing is, in this icon, this is a burb. It's a burb. It's a full-on bird, if you don't know what burb is. But yeah, then again, it looks a bit more like a peacock, I would say, at least from the head, right? But either this guy or this guy gives me bird vibes, right? One of those two. And while this bird doesn't necessarily... Actually, it has a little horn thing on its head. Just like this one. So yeah, this guy at the end is most likely going to be this one, a pyro bird. And actually, that's a good question. Which element won't we see? Because we have Dendro, Hydro, Geo, and Pyro, pretty much confirmed. So that leaves us with Cryo, Electro, and what else? No, with Cryo and Electro. Wait. Oh, Animo. Sorry, my bad. I forgot about Animo. So that leaves us with Cryo, Electro, and Animo. So I wonder if either of these two will be Animo. Actually, that's a good bit of speculation. Because honestly, I'm not sure exactly what this guy is, but I think I might know, and I think it's gonna be Electro and Cryo. I'll talk about it in a bit. So yeah, speaking of the bird dude, I have a feeling that this is going to be using something similar, possibly to Soroush again. So before Fontaine, Soroush was released in, I believe, 3.6, do correct me if I'm wrong, and used pretty much something similar to the swimming mechanic. Now, they could also do the same kind of mechanic, kind of like the swimming one, with this guy, with this Saurian, but just make it faster, right? Just make you move way faster than normal. Or it could just be another type of gliding. I don't know. But then again, why would you introduce a Saurian that can glide unless it can properly fly, like actual fly, kind of like Soroush? Or if it can glide way faster than a normal glider. Because otherwise, why would you use it over the normal glider is the question. Now, for the other two guys, so I'm not sure exactly what this is. This could be a creature like a normal, like a quadruped creature, ground creature, which has a weird hairstyle or weird horns. But this gives me bat vibes, right? This gives me bat vibes. And the main reason I said this guy might be Electro, and I'm speculating it's Electro, is because echolocation. But using Electro, right? But then again, how would that help in exploration, right? The Dendro one helps us because of the grappling, the Geo one helps with ground and verticals, the Hydro one is, of course, water travel, and the bird will be most likely for air travel. But what would echolocation actually help us with? There are, I think, two ways. Either there's going to be very dark caves that you cannot see into unless you activate something, or unless you use the Electro Bat, or is going to be used to find special treasures or activate special mechanisms and be part of the overworld puzzles and overworld treasures. That could be a way, like you have to use the Electro Pulse in order to find where the treasure chest is. Like for a puzzle or something. It could be interesting, I feel like. And the last one, I'm thinking it might be Cryo. A Cryo sort of bull, because this gives me very huge crest or very huge horns, right? It looks kind of like a bull head, but with humongous horns. Of course, since it's a Saurian, it's based off of dinosaurs and dragons, so it's maybe more like a crested dinosaur, right? Kind of like a Triceratops, but like with a different looking crest. So then how would this guy help us? I guess it could be good for mining, but Geo in general is good at mining, right? You already have characters which are really good at mining. Maybe there are going to be special ores that require you to use the bull charge. I'm going to call it bull charge. The Saurian charge from this guy. And the reason I'm saying Cryo is because out of the two other elements, which are Animo and Cryo, Cryo makes more sense to use on a bulky, big type of Saurian with huge horns, because you know, ice horns, crystal ice horns and stuff like that. But yeah, so of course these two are pure speculation. The other three we've seen already, and the bird one is most likely going to be flight. But these two are pure speculation. So I'm thinking a bat that can use electro-styled echolocation to find treasures and puzzles around the map. And this one would be a Triceratops-styled Saurian based on Cryo, which would do, I don't know, charges around, maybe usable in combat. Maybe it's a more combat-oriented one, with the others being more exploration. This one maybe being more combat. But I think we're honestly going to have to wait for a future video from Hoyoverse before we can actually see, because we've been shown the first three in this one, so most likely in the future, either in the 5.0 trailer or maybe earlier, we'll actually see the other three Saurians in proper action. And I'm honestly really curious if I was right with the predictions. At least the elemental ones, if not what they do, at least the elemental ones. Because I cannot really see the bat-looking one to be Cryo and the bull-looking one to be Electro, right? I feel like it would make sense more the other way around. And the bird I said is Pyro, if they do go by element, and it's not just design choices. The Pyro one, the bird one, like, it's red. So it's red with some blue accents, yellow accents, but that's most likely based off of the paintings as well. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, the bird might be Pyro. Of course, again, this might be just one of the Sumeru birds, but I don't think they would showcase a Sumeru bird in here. Who knows? Either way, even if that's not the actual Saurian, I'm still thinking this is going to be a Pyro bird that can allow you to fly. So yeah. So in the end, it's entirely possible that the Saurians will only be usable in Natlan, just like Sorush is only usable in that specific part of Sumeru. If they are usable in the entire world, that would be really nice for re-exploring areas that you've already explored, especially with using the Geo, Dendro, and Hydro Saurians that were shown, and especially if this is the Pyro one and it's all specifically for flight. Also went ahead and talked about the existing the Saurians that we've already seen, and speculated a bit about the Saurians that we haven't seen yet. Possibly haven't seen with the bird one. Because again, there's this guy at the end that flies off in the distance. So yeah, that's about it. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, why not leave a like, comment, or even subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.